Hello, gorgeous, beautiful beings. This is Milena. Today I would like to share the story of someone very close to me with you who recently reached out to me to share and explain how she had been harassed and attacked by her family continuously for years about being too fat and having to lose weight and continuously being told that, and every time she would hang out with them, she would hear that over and over and over again. She was sad, upset, sick and tired of feeling this way, and she even says that she doesn't live close to her family, doesn't want to communicate with them very often because she doesn't want to feel that way every time she interacts with them. Well, this happens to be very much my personal story as well, and something that I struggled with for about 2.5 decades. And I know we're not the only ones. It might not be about weight, it might be about something else, but we have all struggled with something like that, especially when we're being told stuff that we interpret as negative by our loved ones, by the people that we love the most and the people that we hope or we think should love us the most as well. Now, I can completely relate to the feeling because, like I said, I had experienced every single facet of it, and I had been doing it and playing that game and watching that movie for years and years and years and years of my life. And yes, there are many emotions associated with it. The feeling of worthlessness, of low self-esteem, of I'm unlovable, I need to change and transform in order to deserve my family's, for example, love and approval and acceptance. I'm undesirable. Let's look at some things that we can recognize, that we can tweak, transform within ourselves so that we can step beyond that experience and we don't have to keep being in that circle. For those of us, when and if we are ready to step out of it. We are, when we do that, and I know we don't want to hear it, it doesn't feel very good, but when we do that, we are in a victim state. When we're hurt by what they say, we're so into the emotion, it's like they're doing this to me, and we get either hurt or angry and bitter or sometimes even aggressive toward them, and we don't want to see them and we think it's them. If it doesn't hook, whatever statements they make, if it doesn't hook onto anything within us, if there's no resonance with what they're saying, with anything inside of us, we won't be experiencing these emotions. It really won't touch us that way. It will just go straight through like wind, and we're not going to feel anything. If we're feeling it, and we're feeling it strongly, and all these strong emotions come up within us, we need to find the hooks. What is it hooking onto? And most of us will say, yeah, I recognize that I have some worthlessness or unworthiness issues, or that I have low self-esteem here and there. Yes. So it's because we believe a lot of the stuff that they say. And what we hope is to hear the opposite from them so that we can eventually start believing it about ourselves too. Yeah, unfortunately or fortunately, it doesn't really work that way. It comes from us. So we think, okay, let's look at that statement. I need to lose weight in order to deserve the love or the approval of my family. It's not like, oh, you lost, 1 pound. Now I love you 1 pound more. That's not how it works, and it never has. Even saying it feels ridiculous, doesn't it? But at the same time, we sort of feel that way. We feel like their approval level and their love for us will change. If our body changes, in this particular case, it might not be the body. It may be like if I'm more financially successful, if I get married, if I have a kid, they're going to love and approve of me more. What an illusion, but we can keep telling ourselves that. It doesn't freaking matter. And we can even use Byron Katie's example. It's like, okay, do I need to lose weight to deserve their love? Second question, can I be absolutely sure that that's true, that I need to lose weight in order to deserve their love? And even if that answer is yes, which it usually isn't, we move on to question number 3. Who would I be without that thought? Well, I'd probably be free, carefree, happy, light, joyful. And now we flip the thought. We reverse the thought and we play with other versions of it. For example, I need to lose weight to deserve my own love. Or I don't need to lose any weight to deserve their love. Or I don't need to lose any weight to deserve my own love. And see how that resonates with you if it rings true. And you can use those sentences for any thought that creates a feeling of dissonance and discomfort and not enoughness and unworthiness within you. And also, who does it matter to? Ultimately, only one person. And who's that person? Us, right? So we work with us because that's where it begins, that's where it ends, and everything else is decoration and embellishment in the movie. That's decor and special effects sometimes. And very often we choose to look at them as opposed to what is going on here. So we recognize that we are the directors of this movie that we're playing the main role in. And not only are they actors and players, but we give them the script and we say, can you say this and you do that and you do that. Now that immediately puts us out of the victim role because we recognize we're the director, we're not a victim here. But why did I do that? Why did I choose to play this role and them doing that? What was I thinking? But we don't go into blaming ourselves and saying I was a complete idiot. What kind of a movie is that? I never should have done that, and blaming ourselves. No, we don't do that. We say, how does this serve me? What was my intent behind it? Did I think I was going to benefit from it? Obviously I did. How? And of course, the very first answer that we give ourselves, it doesn't freaking serve me at all. I'm just going into pain and suffering and I feel unloved and it just sets me back. Okay, allow those thoughts. And how does it serve me? How does it serve me? We keep sitting with that question until we get to the bottom of it and we start getting the information that we need. And we will always know. And it could be something, for example, it gives me the opportunity to remember who I am. It gives me the opportunity to find my center and to recognize that I wanted to remember that I am love embodied, that I can't possibly be unworthy of anything, that I don't need anybody else's love and approval to remember who and what I was. And by showing that that's not me and that doesn't feel good, I'm allowing myself to move closer to that center. Because if I were to lose the weight and I would give myself the illusion that now they love me and approve of me, what am I going to keep doing? I'm going to keep outsourcing my worth, my lovability, my desirability to others. I'd be like, you need to show me so that I can feel it. And even saying that sounds dissonant, and we say, no, that's not the case. But then we look at real life situations when somebody says something to us and we immediately feel not enough. We feel smaller. And of course, very often we hire our closest loved ones because they're not so easy to ignore. The signal is much, much stronger. It's much bigger. It triggers a stronger emotion. So we think that it's actually easier to get to our center. Sometimes our center might be to create that boundary and says, do you intend to hurt me? That really hurts me. Or you can say, does your love depend on that? Do I need to do that in order to deserve your love? That would be a very interesting question to ask them and see how they respond. Because most of the time they say, oh, no, I'm going to love you anyway. I just think that you would feel better that way and that you would be happier that way. And you can say, oh, okay. I can see that's an interesting perspective. But again, they are irrelevant. But by virtue of exploring all of those things within us, we move closer to that center, to that unshakable core that is firmly rooted in the ground within ourselves. And recognizing that we're the designers, we're the creators. Then those things, the roles that they play, become unnecessary. And they'll probably fade away. And like I said, it took me a really, really long time to do it. I went through the drama of manifesting a partner who didn't find me desirable and found numerous ways to tell me all the time that that was the case and that I needed to lose weight. I manifested a parent who would say that, or maybe a sibling who would say that all the time. And I cried and I was hurt and I was being told that I'm not doing the proper workout or the diet and regime or that all kinds of stuff like that. And of course, I went into blaming them and how can they not love me and accept me the way that they are, and what jerk he was for saying that, and who says that to someone they really truly love. No. Okay. Their programs and what they believe in, the importance that they put on the physicality didn't have to be the importance that I put on it. And I definitely did not have to correlate and associate my self-worth with that. And that was just one aspect of my journey of stepping into my power and using it consciously. We can explore all of these things. I had a lot of shame. I felt like I was lazy or I didn't have willpower if I didn't just exercise every day or find the correct routine, or I was lacking willpower to stop eating all of the things that maybe were doing that. I needed to process all of those things. The weight I was holding had nothing to do with that. And it had everything to do with what role I wanted all of this to play in my life, what things I wanted to recognize, tweak, and transform within me so that they can then be reflected in my outside experience, so to speak. And these are some things that you can observe within yourself to see. When those roles become unnecessary because you have made the transformations that you initially intended, of course, at a higher level of consciousness, then they disappear as well. But the most important thing is you really truly step into your power. You stop playing the role of the victim or feeling horrible about what somebody else is saying because they are irrelevant. The programs that they carry are irrelevant. And even how much you think they love you or they don't, or they like you or they don't, they desire you or they don't, is also irrelevant. How much you and how you choose to see yourself, how you manage your own perception of yourself, is all up to you and nobody else. And of course, when the emotions come and when you're in the middle of that happening, we process them, we allow them to express, we cry, whatever, we do that. But then we do that exploration. We start seeing how that serves us, speed track that transformation that we wanted to achieve. We get to our core and then we move beyond it. And now we're unstoppable. And we no longer subscribe to those little victimhood games of, oh, they made me feel that way because they said that way. I know how real it can feel and how painful. I mean, I did it for such a long time. It was devastating. And the only people whose opinion really mattered to me did not approve of me and told me I wasn't enough, I was doing things wrong, and I felt like I needed to change in order to deserve their love and approval. Their love didn't change because of it. But whatever it is, it's really important that we stop playing the role of the victim and understand that we're that powerful, very smart and insightful designer of that game, of that movie that we're playing. And if we don't like it, if we're tired of it, if we're all set with it, we've had enough of that experience, then we're more than capable of moving beyond it. And actually, we can do that very quickly and easily. All up to us. And if you need help and assistance figuring out what those hooks are in particular aspects that you might be struggling with, book a session at askmilena.com. Subscribe to my newsletter as well as the channel, and click on the bell so that you can get notified of all future videos which come out on Friday. I'll see you next week, guys. Bye-bye.